絶対に負けない
Khan is arguably the simplest and easiest character in the game, but despite that, a lot of beginners choose to just skip over him since there are other characters that are also good for beginners, but also have more depth to them and aren't at the very bottom of the tier list. Khan is known for being pretty much the worst character in the game besides Mariah, and for good reason. As I said before, Khan is very simple. He doesn't have many gimmicks like most of the rest of the cast and doesn't have many options. He gets screwed over easily by pressure and usually just can't keep up with other characters. Playing as Khan against one of the other JoJo characters is like if you put a regular boxer against a dark mage. Oh, but he does have spinny funny. Good luck. Believe it or not, Khan doesn't have very many good moves. Using pretty much any of them in neutral is like taping a paper on your back that says, "Kick me." Most of the time you'll just see Khan's 2A and JC, but his other moves do have uses too. 5A is a move that exists. No real reasons to use this one. It's like 2A but with less range and is blocked mid. 5B is also a move that exists. It can be used as an anti-air if you really wanted to use it for that. It has a pretty big hitbox, but other than that, it's not that great a move. 5C also exists. It's not used much since it takes a millennia to start up. If it hits, you can press 5C again to get another hit. Well, you might as well do it because if you already pressed 5C, you might as well commit to it. The dashing version of this doesn't have this feature, so don't use the dashing version. It's actually punishable on hit, which sucks. I don't know why they put that in the game. 2A is one of Khan's best moves. It's used for pretty much everything. In fact, it might as well be Khan's only move. It has good range and speed. It's the move most frequently used for getting supers, tick grabs, combos, etc. "2B is the same as 2A but slower, with more knockback and more hit stun. Usually is ignored in favor of 2A. 2C is a sweet move with pretty good range, but it's pretty slow. The dashing versions of these moves are pretty much the same but worse, since they have more starting and ending lag. However, they can still be cancelled into super or special moves at any point during them, so they're still useful. 4B would be a good poke due to its range, but it has a ton of ending lag, a weird hitbox, and it actually moves Khan's hitbox forward, so it's another move that sucks. JA and JB are often overlooked as air moves, but they're pretty okay airs. One problem is that the hitbox is kind of funny. It can also be used to start any combos. You're gonna want to ignore JA because JB has the same frame data in range, but it deals more damage and builds more meter. JC is probably Khan's second best move besides 2A. As I said, 2A and JC might as well just be his only moves. Pretty good hitbox, does good damage, it can also start combos. It is also sometimes used for tick grabs. Khan's grab is godly. It does 5 million damage and it stole my lunch money. Actually, it's one of the worst grabs in the game and deals the least amount of damage out of any character's grabs. It throws the opponent far away, so it could be used to return the match back to neutral. Also, it can be teched pretty quickly when used in the corner, so be careful if you use it there. Khan's guard cancel isn't terrible, but it's pretty bad. It has a bit of startup lag, has no horizontal range at all. You're not gonna be able to guard cancel people that outrange this move, or you're just using a rapid hit move, and if it misses, it's punishable. It pushes the opponent far away just like his grab. You're most likely not gonna use this that much, and instead just push block. A lot of Khans will use the S move for moving around. It has a surprisingly large hitbox and people love to run into it. Hyper hopping into it will cause Khan to go 5 million miles per hour. It has a bit of startup lag in the air though, so be careful. If the S button is held down, it will last longer, but at the end of the move Khan will be dizzy, so don't hold down the S button. You can also alter the speed in the middle of it by pressing 6 or 4, which can kind of mix up your opponents a little bit. Khan's counter move is just like Chakra or Black Polnareff's counter move, and is pretty useful against aggressive opponents. Countering a move makes it so you learn it, so that if you block the same move again, you get a free move. This is one of Khan's only gimmicks, and making good use of it could turn the tide of a match, especially if you learn someone's pokes or frequently used attacks. It is pretty risky if you miss though, you're pretty much open forever. 63 A, B, or C, it's very unsafe and punishable, and a baby could reach further horizontally. This should only be used when confirmed into by another attack. It can be used as an anti-air, especially against an air dashing opponent, but it can be blocked in the air, so whatever. The C version will always cause a stand crash. Holding back for about 1 second and then pressing forward with an attack button causes Khan to dash forward and perform one of his moves. The C version of this move causes a knockdown. This move is usually not performed on purpose in neutral since it is more punishable than simply dashing and performing a move. Yeah, you're pretty much not going to be using any of Khan's special moves except for S for moving around, and then you're going to be using the DP and his charge in combos. 236 AA is not really one of the best supers. It's often not used at all. Missing 236 AA leaves you open for practically all eternity. And if blocked, it's pretty much like putting a note on yourself that says kick me, but also putting another note right below it that says really. Kick me, guard cancel me, I'm not going to go anywhere anytime soon. 214 AA is Khan's better super and is one of the biggest parts of this game. It'll be hard to win against an experienced player without using this move. It comes out pretty fast and has pretty good range. Easy to link into from pretty much any other move, but it's usually linked into with 2A or dashing in. It does really good damage. Khan has pretty good mobility. Khan has a good fast backdash that goes a good distance and be cancelled into a spin, so many Khan players use this frequently. Khan's dash is also decent and is usually used as a substitute for his charge move, since his charge move isn't really safe in neutral. You will usually see Khan trying his best not to die and using his only good normal moves, 2A and JC in neutral. You can try to do some funny shit with Khan by trying to use other moves besides 2A and JC and trying to catch them off guard, but it probably won't work against good players. In Khan mirrors, he can also sometimes be seen using JA and JB in neutral to beat out any incoming JCs. He can also use his S move to close distance quickly. Khan is alright at approaching and rushing down. You can sometimes use the charge move to catch people with their pants down, but it's also risky. Usually Khans will either use JC, 2A, or dashing 2A to approach. He can't do pressure as good as a character like Rubber Soul obviously, but he can do it, I guess, a little. He does it. He kind of has to get any of his stuff in. Remember to make good use of tick grabs. Against someone with good projectiles like Whole Horse Kakyoin, good timing of Khan's S move kills them because it's very fast and good at closing distance. Khan loves to dish up his pressure but can't handle it well. He will get killed if he is pressured. Let's look at his defensive options. His roll is slow and his guard cancel sucks. A lot of the time, all he can do is push block. You usually want to be close to the opponent with Khan, but if you're the one being pressured, you'll want to escape as fast as possible by trying to get a grab, or it's just simply spinning away. Jumping back, using JB and spinning away is pretty nice. Also, remember to make use of Khan's backdash. Khan's BNB combo is not the simplest combo, but it is one of the simpler and easier ones in the game. It has some variations to it. Here it is in motion. It's simply 2A, 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 charge, DP. It's very flexible. You don't have to do 3 2As, you can just do 2 or 1, but using 3 will maximize the damage. The other more commonly used variant is 2A, 2A, 4B, charge, DP. The primary way to get a knockdown is to modify the BNB to 2A, 2A, and using the C version of the charge. To make stand-on characters piss their pants, you can end the BNB with the C version of the 63, since it always causes a stand crash. 5B into a DP is apparently a good anti-air combo, but I've never used it. 5C into 5C can also combo into the charge move, and 5C can also link into the 236 super. So have fun with that if you ever manage to land a 5C, but you probably won't. To get a lot of his damage in, Khan will usually just link 2A, dashing 2A, or pretty much any other move into his 214A super. This is one of the scariest things that Khan can do. Since the 2A links into itself multiple times, you have pretty much all the time in the world to input the 214A. Khan actually has the ability to tick grab. Dashing 2A is good for tick grabs as well as JC. If you get a knockdown, Khan's Oki is pretty basic, but it kind of can get the job done, not really though. Like a lot of other characters, he can tick grab or normal grab when you wake up. He can either hit you with a 2A or high with the JC. Usually this is easy to react to though. I'm not gonna lie, Khan is so fucking pathetic in this game, you can pretty much do anything you want against him. Just be careful not to get hit by his 2A or you may die. JC should be looked out for as well, but you can usually see it coming as soon as Khan touches off the ground. Remember to block 2A crouching and JC standing and you'll be fine. Khan will at times use his S move, so you have to watch out for that. Time your projectiles well against that, just be mindful of it. All in all though, fighting Khan doesn't require much of anything special, just keep your eyes open. He will absolutely get fucked if you keep pressuring him. In Khan mirrors, you'll want to use JA and JB to beat out a Khan that is using JC a lot. Usually it's a fight to see who will be cucked by the starting or ending a lag of a move first. Khan can't really punish a lot of the stuff that he does to himself, but if you can learn the other Khan's JC or 2A, they're pretty fucked. But still, be careful when using the counter move, it doesn't always work. Let's take a look at this match between Minotaur and With Swag. At the beginning, Minotaur takes advantage of Khan's backdash to avoid any surprise attacks. And we're not really sure why Minotaur uses dashing 5C here since it's unsafe on hit, but maybe it was just to make fun of With Swag. Anyway, after that, he backdashes again to avoid getting hit by Vanilla Ice's 2A. Here we see him doing a JC in neutral, since it's one of Khan's safer things to do. You're gonna be seeing this a lot. He dodges the ball, does dashing 5C again for some reason, then blocks and push blocks Vanilla Ice. He does a 2A which has good range, then goes for a JC for an overhead. He backdashes, tries to punch the ball with his super, which is possible but he fails. He techs in the air after getting hit and does a JB, which is a good idea if you're trying to get the opponent away. In neutral, we see Minotaur jumping around with JC, then we see him use 2A when Vanilla Ice is close enough. To confuse With Swag's brain, Minotaur then goes for an overhead with a JC, which With Swag blocks slow. Then he proceeds to tick grab With Swag since JC can go into grab pretty easily. When With Swag messes up, Minotaur has the opportunity to use one of his moves that are usually unsafe, so Minotaur knocks him down with a dashing 2C. Khan's wake up game is pretty simple and Vanilla Ice has a very fast wake up speed, so Minotaur goes for a simple overhead JC, which With Swag push blocks. Minotaur goes for a 2A, but he's not quite in range. However, his 4B, while it was risky to use, has enough range to attack With Swag from this distance. He then can combo this into a charge move, which knocks down With Swag. For Oki, he goes again for a simple JC, which this time hits, and he again tick grabs With Swag from JC. He then does this again, this time with the JC missing, but baiting With Swag's brain to dodge it, allowing Minotaur to grab him once more. Then we see Minotaur go for a risky raw 214 super. He was likely trying to punish Vanilla Ice while in the middle of attack or punish a ball he saw coming, but whatever it was, it didn't work. Minotaur blocks With Swag's ball, punishes it with a 5B, which has a good hitbox, and Minotaur attempts to combo into a DP, but the DP doesn't combo, he misses, but With Swag fails to punish this. So Minotaur push blocks yet again, and in neutral he goes for a risky charge move into a DP, but the DP again fails to combo, and With Swag attempts to punish this. However, Khan is too short, and Vanilla Ice has fallen into the range of Khan's 2A, and he's completely open, so it's over for With Swag. In the second round, we see Minotaur jumping C into another JC, which does sometimes work. Generally, you just want to be throwing these out. Then he does another JC and another JC, then attempts to tick grab again, but he's not quite in range. Then we see Minotaur punish With Swag while his stand is still out, with some great range and speed from the 214 AA. 214 AA is a great move for punishing, but you have to be pretty fast with it. Minotaur was really close to missing, but he didn't. He attempts to grab him, but he doesn't have quite the right timing. We see Minotaur throwing JCs again, and this is a bit unsafe since Vanilla Ice is right under him, but With Swag doesn't punish it. Then With Swag makes a fatal mistake. He uses the shittiest Vanilla Ice super ever, which leaves him open, and a fast JC finishes it off. Goodbye, With Swag. So in this match, we saw a lot of JC being used in neutral, how it can go into a tick grab, how it can go into itself, how you pretty much want to spam it and 2A since they're pretty much his only good moves. We saw the range of 2A and 4B being used in good ways, and we saw the range of his DP backfire. You really want to be mindful of Khan's range as you play him. Generally, just keep using 2A and JC until they work, but be safe about it. However, since Khan doesn't have very many safe moves, it's pretty hard to play a perfect safe Khan and expect to get anywhere. It involves taking a lot of risks. Well, that's it for Khan. He has nothing interesting. If you can see this, then that means you have an IQ of at least 50. That is rare around here. Very well. You shall be permitted to view the secret Khan jutsus. Please watch this tape, passed down by generations. This technique is impossible for a regular human to perform. You must have ice dragon blood in you to perform this. Requires level 99 dark flame art skill. Simply spin when the opponent rolls. Sometimes it is unblockable. This is funny. When opponents jump, do a charge move and funny 6-3. It is a cross-up. This is Khan's most damaging combo. Do 214 AA on a stand-on opponent that's in the air, in the corner. Do it again when they're in the air falling down. Well, do you feel smart now that you know how to play Khan? Do you feel anything big in your brain? You feel anything in your head growing or something? Well, thanks for watching. Subscribe, and I'll probably come out with more character guides.